the Jazz are an excellent regular season team.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to win a lot of games. In fact,
Yeah.
they might be number one again this year.
Yeah.
I think they lack that one star.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's my thoughts also. Same. Mm-hmm.
they don't have that transcendent player that the Lakers have, that the Clippers have, that the Nuggets have. Of course,
Yeah.
the Warriors have a couple of them. So they
Yeah.
don't have that guy. They don't have that one guy, right? Donovan should be it,
Yeah.
but maybe he's not.
Yeah.
He could be a very, very, very good player, but not
Mhm.
that guy.
Yeah.
So I think when you're I want them to do well. I really, really want them to do. Of course, mostly because of JC, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I want JC to do well. But like, if you were to, I'm curious what you think. If you were to switch Donovan Mitchell and Damian Lillard, flip them.
Yeah, feeling ko mas championship contender na yung Utah because Damian Lillard has that yung parang nadadala niya yung team
Yeah,
factor. Si Mitchell nga, that's what you tama yung sinasabi mo na parang he should be that, but then I haven't seen it like in all the series that they've lost. Like they lost to Houston once, they lost to Nuggets game 7, they lost to who did they lose to last? Clippers.
yeah,
Nagkukulang si Mitchell. Like there are games na talagang exceptional siya na he scores 40, 45. But then there are games that maybe because he was injured also last year and that was supposed to
yeah.
be his year na talaga na he was gonna prove himself because they were consensus talaga na people were saying the number one team in the West. But then, yeah, that's what I feel na parang they need another consistent score like a Zach LaVine or a Bradley Beal on their team because Mike Conley's not the same Mike Conley anymore. Royce O'Neal's more on defense. Ingles is a role player. Bogdanovich role player. Gobert's wala ka namang patahan masyado sa offense sa kanya. So I think kulang talaga yung Jazz for me. But then in the regular season, I think they might finish one. Either Lakers or them will finish the top seed. But then I have a I don't know, like si Clarkson then. I mean, I like Clarkson of course because he's Filipino. His play style's obvious na pang Filipino talaga. But then in the playoffs then, like he was good against the Clippers in Game 6 pero first half lang. Yung parang ganun.
Yeah.
Parang kailangan kasi consistent ka if you're a championship contending team like how the Bucks were last year na consistent sila. Kung wire off night sa offense, at least sa defense may ginagawa sila. So I think that's my concern with the Jazz and I'm not sure. I think for me nga, Quinn Snyder, I feel he might be on the hot seat if they lose again in the playoffs, like in the first round or in the second round. So I'm not sure what to expect from the Jazz. I mean, a lot of people are high on them and like all these fan duel sport books, like to bet if the team's gonna win. I know the Jazz. I'll be higher even on the Suns than the Jazz, or even the
Yeah.
Nuggets than the Jazz. I don't know. Do you think the Jazz can actually make it to like the West Finals or the finals?
They can't make the finals, but they can make the West Finals. I think for every great player, there's always been that time that it looks like they're struggling to make it to the next level. I know it's crazy to say it, but we saw it with Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
For the longest time, he couldn't get past the Pistons, right?
Yes.
Couldn't pass the Pistons, couldn't pass the Celtics. Eventually did, ended up winning the championship against the Lakers in 1991. I'm not saying Donovan Mitchell is Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
but maybe he's, I don't know, like maybe he's Tony Parker.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, sure, there's no Duncan and Ginobili, but I mean, Tony Parker. Well, Tony Parker got there kind of young because he was with TD and Ginobili. But you know what I mean? Like, it could be in that tier of superstar, which is not bad.
Yeah.
But if he does break through and make it to the finals,
Mm-hmm.
then where do we put Donovan Mitchell in the hierarchy of greatest players? Because eventually he's going to get in that discussion if he does manage to get the Jazz through that.
Mm-hmm.
Where was, because at a certain, what did people consider Curry before the
20.
Warriors?
Yeah. Nothing. Not much. He kept losing in the first round or second round.
So it's kind of like what Donovan Mitchell is, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of where again, I don't want to compare him to Curry because Curry's
Yeah.
an all-time great.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what's happens, right? I mean, it's like what did we think of? Well, LeBron is an exception. There's some players that are exception.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I mean, I think Curry is probably somebody that is a decent conversation to have when you're talking about something like a Donovan Mitchell, because nobody thought Curry was gonna be Steph Curry
Yeah.
when the Warriors were not winning.
Especially the injuries, his ankle injury. Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with Donovan Mitchell. In the past couple of years, he's not been healthy.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. It's not crazy to think that the Jazz can get through.
Mm-hmm.
And if anything, they could have they have a lot of depth, they have a lot of length, and they have a defensive gem that could give AD a whole lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, they're not going to beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Same thoughts, yeah. I think what are your thoughts though on the additions of the Jazz? I mean, they added Eric Pascal, they added Rudy Gay, they added Hassan Whiteside, and of course Gobert's contract's also like one of the highest contracts now in the league. I think 200 plus million. I mean, what are your thoughts on the additions of the?
I love it.
The additions of the Jazz and also the criticism of Gobert. I mean, everyone was saying that Terrence Mann killed them because of Gobert, and I think I don't know. I like Gobert. I mean, like in the Olympics, he was when they switch on him, he has post moves pala eh, pero sa Jazz hindi naman niya ginagamit. So, what's your thoughts on that aspect of their team?
I like the additions. I love what Rudy Gay brings to the team. I think that's going to be a lot of veteran leadership that they sorely lacked.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely needed a lot more of that, and I think Whiteside is there to imagine your defensive your center rotation, two defensive stoppers, right? I know that the center position is a little bit different nowadays, but when you have Whiteside and Gobert, I mean, you're not going to play them the same. I mean, Whiteside's going to play 20 minutes, maybe if that.
Yeah.
But at least you have another big body that you can throw out there that can get rebounds and block shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
But
think
the Jazz was awful in pick and roll defense also.